Who really invented pizza? The delicious mystery behind the world's favorite food. What if I told you that one of the most famous foods on earth wasn't invented by Italy? At least, not entirely. Every year, people eat billions of pizzas. From New York to Tokyo to tiny villages in Brazil, pizza is everywhere. But here's the mystery. Who actually invented pizza? Was it an Italian chef? A king? A queen? Or does pizza go back much, much further than anyone imagines? The answer begins over 2,000 years ago. Long before mozzarella, before tomato sauce, and even before Italy existed as a country. Ancient civilizations, including the Egyptians, Greeks, and Persians, were already baking flat pieces of dough over hot stones. The Persian army, led by King Darius the Great, is even said to have baked flatbread on their shields, topping it with cheese and dates. The Greeks made something called plakis, flatbread covered with herbs, onions, garlic, and olive oil. Sound familiar? It should. Because these ancient flatbreads look surprisingly similar to what we'd call pizza today. But here's the twist. None of them were actually pizza. They were missing one ingredient that completely changed everything: tomatoes. And for thousands of years, Europe had never even seen one. Why? Because tomatoes originally came from South America. They didn't arrive in Europe until the 16th century, after explorers returned from the New World. At first, people were terrified of them. Many Europeans believed tomatoes were poisonous. Some even called them the poison apple. So for nearly 200 years, people admired tomatoes, but refused to eat them. Then something unexpected happened. In the late 1700s, poor families in Naples, Italy, began spreading tomatoes over their inexpensive flatbread. It was cheap. It was filling. And most importantly, it tasted incredible. Without realizing it, they had just created the world's first true pizza. At first, pizza wasn't considered fancy food. It was street food, sold by vendors, eaten with your hands, and mostly ignored by wealthy people. Until one famous day changed everything. In 1889, Queen Margherita visited Naples. A local pizza maker named Raffaele Esposito was invited to prepare a special meal for her. Instead of serving expensive dishes, he made a simple pizza topped with tomatoes, white mozzarella, and fresh basil. The colors matched the Italian flag. The Queen loved it. Legend says Esposito named it Pizza Margherita in her honor. Whether every detail of that story is true is still debated. But one thing isn't. From that moment on, pizza's reputation exploded. Soon, Italian immigrants carried pizza across the Atlantic. When they arrived in America, they brought more than recipes. They brought a food that would eventually conquer the world. New York created giant foldable slices. Chicago built deep dish pizzas thick as pies. Japan added seafood. Brazil added green peas. And today, every country has created its own version. So, who invented pizza? If you mean flatbread with toppings, there isn't just one inventor. Humans had been making versions of it for thousands of years. But if you're talking about the pizza we recognize today, with tomato sauce, cheese, and a baked crust, its true birthplace is the crowded streets of Naples, Italy, in the late 18th century. Sometimes, the world's greatest inventions aren't created in royal kitchens or by famous scientists. Sometimes they begin as a simple meal for ordinary people trying to survive. And somehow, that humble street food became one of the most beloved dishes in human history.